Welcome back, everybody, to the late night show with Dr. Kojo. I am your host, Kojo Sarfo, checking in from what was a sunny day here in Los Angeles, California. I'm happy to be here. I hope the live stream is good for y'all. I hope the lighting is good. I've worked to get this set up right. So that's my goal. Hope that the setup is good. We're all here. We're all present. We're vibing. We're going to be talking about 5 common mistakes that neurodivergent people make. So let's go ahead and make sure everybody gets in the live stream. Hey, Austin, how are you doing? Austin told us on a previous live stream that 8 years sober. We're celebrating 8 years of sobriety for Austin. So a big love to show to kick things off. What's up? Oh, yeah. Misspoke. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. Can everybody hear me? Are we all good to go? A little bit of a new setup today, so I'm interested in seeing how this works. Hopefully, we can get acclimated with this. Not too well. Got laid off at work Friday. Austin, very sorry to hear that. This is not the good time. It's never a good time to get laid off, but especially in today's economic climate. So let's keep our heads up and hopefully hope for the best. But this is definitely difficult. Leilani, how are you doing? Thank you, everybody, for coming through. Sharo, how are you doing? Go ahead, if you're new here, use the comment section to let me know where you're checking in from and your name if it doesn't already show. On Facebook, it should show. But we are streaming on TikTok as well. So TikTok, I only see your username. So Jennifer Toms, 583, Che, Shannon, I can't see where y'all are from. So go ahead and drop your location and let us know so we can get started. Treese is checking in from Houston, Texas. I'm a big fan of Houston. Treese, how are you doing today? Leilani checking in from Tennessee, of course. I'm checking in from Los Angeles, California. It's a California week for me. I'm back at home, so I feel good. I'm excited. Sharo says, I just came back from the gym. Started doing Muay Thai in April and been feeling a lot better now. Love the show right there. I've been thinking about boxing and, some other physical activities, but when you can move the body, keep in mind that this is free serotonin. We should never pass up on the opportunity to get the free serotonin. Portland, Oregon in the house. Jenny, how are you doing? We got Portland, Oregon in the house. Okay. Talk to us. Houston, Portland, Oregon, Philippines, Manila, Philippines. Okay. In the Philippines, y'all are like 15 hours ahead. So it's morning for y'all. So yeah. Good morning, Sharo. Italiana on TikTok. How are you doing? We were chatting today earlier when I was at the gym. I did my whole workout on TikTok Live today. So that was really interesting. My whole workout on TikTok Live. So maybe we'll continue that if my gym allows us to, keep going live at the gym. Treese, I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. I am doing good. Thank you so much for asking. We have Alicia checking in from Brisbane, Australia. All right. We got a global audience. So we got Alicia checking in from Brisbane. Alicia, thank you so much for your attention. I appreciate you. Aaron checking in from Pittsburgh. Aaron, how are you doing? Aaron Moore. I don't think I've seen Aaron before in the live stream. So Aaron, if this is your first time here, welcome. Italiana on TikTok says that the live stream today at the gym was great. I'm happy you enjoyed it. I'm happy I was able to put up 225 7 times. So I'm training for the NFL Combine. Hopefully I get an invite to somebody's mini camp. The Jaguars, the Raiders, the Rams, the Titans. I'd love to get picked up by somebody. Krista says, Toronto, Ontario, Canada here. I didn't binge eat tonight, so we have to give that a love of the show. Congratulations. And you have to understand that when it comes to binge eating and eating disorders, these are serious, potentially serious issues. So any win you can get, you have to take the win. Never pass up an opportunity to take a win. So this is a huge one that must be celebrated. So Krista, we're proud of you. We're super proud of you. Just like Leilani said, puppy guys last round of shots. Okay. Walk. Been consistent with 1.5 mile walks in the evening. Starting to implement morning walks too. Big win, big win. All these wins are important because this gives us momentum. And a lot of us, we're going to be talking about 5 common mistakes that neurodivergent people make. A lot of us who are neurodivergent, especially with ADHD, it's hard to put consistent days together where we get one thing done and then we can carry that into the next day. So when we can start something and then we can do it consecutively, even if it's 2 days in a row, that does great things to our self-esteem. It starts to go up, and then we start to believe. Belief is very important. And the reason why we don't believe sometimes is because we've learned that we can be unreliable. So we have to count our wins. Krista, we have to count our wins. Count every win. Count every win. And it's very, I would say it's very easy, but it becomes much easier to repair that relationship with your body and to make progress when you have people cheering for you, because you feel like you're not in it yourself. Like you feel like if, you're not able to keep things together, you're letting other people down, and you're not, but you have more motivation. So we need to turn 1 day into 2 days, 2 days into 3 days, back around to the next week. Lindsay Martin from Tennessee. How are you doing, Lindsay? How are you doing? And good news, I was able to turn things around and went out and spent 8 hours today catching up on lawn work. This weekend was a struggle, but I know myself well enough to get up and make small goals to feel accomplished. Congratulations. A lot of wins here. A lot of wins. Jane says, having issues with weight gain related to meds. Trying to balance helpfulness of meds with 30 pound weight gain in the last year. So Jenny, this is a side effect of medications, especially psych meds. I don't think we talk about it enough. And it's tough because sometimes you have to choose between putting on weight and being, relatively mentally stable versus, keeping your weight down and struggling with, the issues that you were struggling with beforehand. So don't lose hope and sad of the fact that you can still go to your doctor and try and make small changes. Don't try and get it all back in one, but just take a day at a time. All right. 1 day at a time. Lindsay from Tennessee. I'm happy that you're doing well. The Lion from Tennessee as well. The evening walks have been my one consistent thing all summer because B needs it. I know he's a better pup when he gets what he needs, and it lowers my stress levels, and I'm feeling better from it physically. This is making me want to get a puppy, but I know I can't handle it on my schedule right now, but it's making me get a puppy. All right, so without further ado, the 5 common mistakes that neurodivergent individuals make or tend to make. Number 1 is oversharing. Okay, oversharing. Now, oversharing is not technically a bad thing. Okay, especially if you're with your people. Now, I do think that there are some things that we should always keep to ourselves, and not everything needs to be said out loud or said to people. But with neurodivergent individuals, sometimes we tend to get this diarrhea of the mouth, where we just be talking, whether we're talking a mile a minute or whether we're talking slow. When we feel comfortable in certain areas, we tend to just rattle off things because there's not a lot of environments where we feel comfortable. So the oversharing can become an issue, and it can be embarrassing especially when you haven't established a rapport with these people. You're not sure if they're your people or not, but now they know all this intimate information about you. So the likelihood that you avoid them or you want to ghost them is high because you're like, dang, I shared too much, right? It could be uncomfortable. And to mitigate this, sometimes just go back and try not to replay all your social situations and be like, I messed up, but figure out a couple of the things that you said that you weren't comfortable with saying, and just try and work on those things, because there's an art to talking to people for a long time and you're not really telling them intimate details about you. You can still talk and be affable and be a people person without telling them every single thing about you. So we got to make sure that we take our time. Aaron says I do this all the time. Aaron, and having a safe space where we can do this is helpful, but we just want to just take our time. Crystal, thank you so much. I appreciate you. What do people here do to prevent or catch yourself oversharing in the moment? I'll leave that question up to everybody. What do y'all do to prevent oversharing For me, I mean, I've trained myself to look around at people and the environments that I'm in, and I often don't even say too much about myself when I don't feel, somewhat safe. I just kind of keep it, I keep it G, I keep it surface level. I'll talk about things that are already online or public knowledge, but I try and keep like who are you dating or whatever. I try and keep some stuff to myself. It's nobody. Oh, Danielle, to answer your question real quick, sometimes I just say, Kojo, get up, 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 get up. That's how I try and get up in the morning, but it's really tough to do it consistently. Oversharing is my worst trait. Leilani, keep that Aussie breeder in mind. Keep the Aussie breeder in mind. Let me see, get some comments up top, and then I'll go to the suggestions. Kate says, I got through an actual workout today, second time within a week. Plus, I emptied and reloaded the dishwasher, started a load of laundry, and washed the dogs. No idea if I'll be good tomorrow, but today was good. Side question is weight gain, part of struggle of sertraline. So, Kate, first of all, love of the show on a productive day. Second question is weight gain a part of sertraline or Zoloft? So it depends. I don't see a lot of weight gain with Zoloft in particular. But it depends. Sometimes people will pick up weight on, certain antidepressants might make them pick up, more weight. I see a lot with Paxil, but it just depends on how, it affects a particular person. Yeah, but Kate, congratulations. Sarah says, I literally just did this and immediately was like, dang, why did I say that? I often ask myself, if this person shared, would it be awkward for me? Ooh, Krista, that's a good one. Because a lot of times when you're oversharing, you realize that the other person's not talking. And you're like, hold up, is this a therapy session? Like, I'm telling them all this stuff, but you're not telling me anything about you. I don't know anything about you, but you know everything about me. And Kelvin on TikTok says, your book has helped me out so much, feeling good. Kelvin, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Kelvin Price on TikTok. Thank you, Kelvin. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Monica on TikTok says, she'll be 8 months sober from alcohol next month. A lot to celebrate. I remind myself to use my inside voice. I lean hard into asking other people about themselves. I turn it around. Okay, it's good to break up things, and if somebody asks you about your day, instead of telling them about everything about you, talk a little bit and be like, "How was your day?" Sometimes we gotta practice. Brittany on TikTok says, I haven't been to a salon in 2 years because of this. Small talk is too hard and I overshare. And we don't want you to avoid certain things, but we can practice in social settings, kind of like kids do. And skill regression is a real thing in the neurodivergent community, especially with autism. Sometimes we have to learn things over again, and we gotta be kind to ourselves when we have to learn things over again. Calvin, I appreciate you. I didn't gain weight on Zoloft, but I did with Celexa. Yeah, so like Jane said, it depends on the person and it depends on the antidepressant. So I do think it's person to person. Is it oversharing to say you look like a whole snack with that setup? No, that's not oversharing. Say it again. I like hearing that. I worked on this setup for a little bit. I didn't like the setup in the room. It was too dark. My little brother's calling me from Georgia, like, Kojo, I'm on your live stream and it keeps going out. I don't like how it looks. I'm like, hey, don't worry. I got something for you. So I put my Sony camera here. I'm looking at it. I got the light here. Like, I'm ready for showtime. I'm ready to bring back the morning show with Dr. Kojo or breakfast with Dr. Kojo. Even throw in some gaming streams. The gaming streams will be on the other, setup. But I'm vibing with this. I appreciate that. I'm vibing with this. Where can you buy my book? Everywhere where books are sold. The link in my bio on Facebook, but also you can just Google "Feeling Good" and Kojo Sarfo, and then you should have a link to the book. Let me see. I always feel like I wake up in a panic. My mind starts. How can I help with this? Lindsay, we gotta slow it down. But also, getting good sleep can be helpful the night before. It's not good to be too much in a hurry. And Kelvin, you're far too kind on TikTok. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all the support and everybody who's been buying the book and sharing it. It means a lot to me. So thank you so much. I'll never have enough thank yous. So, and Coder hasn't been live long. Yeah. I haven't been live that long. So thank you so much. Yeah, I like this new setup. So this is really it's cool for me. And that's one thing about just life in general. You have to keep trying things. So the first time is never, we don't get it right the first time, but we keep trying, and but you can just never be embarrassed. You know, like even if your life's not good, hop on the stream. Like just don't be embarrassed and just do the best that you can. Oh, also you said the address. We have some autograph books, or I have some books that I can autograph. Austin sent. Did you email it to me? Austin sent the address, so we'll just get it shipped out. Like
Austin.
Yeah, but I'll send you the email.
Oh, okay. I was
yeah.
like, I haven't gotten it.
But I felt like I was missing somebody's book. That was probably what it was.
Neurodivergent shows.
Right. Forgetting things. Showtime. Oh, I got my water for the water break. I'm ready. Leilani, likewise. Oh, Facebook we can email. Oh, yeah. Can you email it to me? And V, are we able to I'll be able to do the breakfast show.
When?
Like a couple times this week, right? I should have.
Okay, yeah. Tomorrow.
Not tomorrow.
CBS.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right. Okay. We'll aim for Wednesday then.
Yes. Wednesday works.
Yeah, but I'll make sure and knock out my CBS video. Oh, y'all want an early water break? All right, if you're thirsty, early water break. Let's go ahead and get it. Early water break, and then I'll drop in the second common mistake that neurodivergent people tend to make. So cheers. The water break it gives us a chance to get some water in. My mouth is kind of dry, but that's what the ADHD meds do to you. So big cheers, y'all. Water break. Yeah, this is the book right here. Feeling good. Water break. We'll do another one at 30 minutes. I was able to deep clean the kitchen, which was covered in cat hair and food stains per month. All right, what was the second thing? Moving too fast in relationships. Oh boy, this one might trigger some people. Mr. NFL. Jenna Lee says, I never catch your lives. Well, Jenna Lee, I'm happy you're catching my live on TikTok. I'm happy you're here. All right, moving too fast in relationships. Why do neurodivergent people do this? Okay, so I think I made some videos about this, and it's not that we are narcissists and we like to love bomb. It's more so of a hyperfixation thing, hyper infatuation. We found something that we truly enjoy, and when we like things that when we find things that we enjoy, we tend to go overboard sometimes, / a lot of the times. And moving too fast in relationships obviously can lead to painful consequences, including but not limited to heartbreak, which can cause mania, which can cause depression, divorce. It can lead to depression. It can lead to emotional issues. These things it can spiral out of control, right? We want to take our time in relationships, but sometimes when you're neurodivergent, you feel like you only have one speed, like one button, and it's just go. So that's why it's important to learn yourself and to put up certain rules. Like even though you're neurodivergent and you kind of go fast, how about you see this person once a week? You don't have to like not talk to them, or whatever, but like see them once a week, twice a week. Like put limits in place to just give yourself some time. And Leilani, your story is different because like this was a success story. This is 1 month of dating, then you're engaged, and then married after 3 months. It worked out for y'all really well. Y'all come up on 10 years, so congratulations. on that. It's not the case for a lot of us, but it worked out for y'all. So sometimes impulsivity works. Found Light Bree, what's up on TikTok? How are you doing? Gotcha. Okay, I will check that email. Hyper focusing to the max. The hyper focus. That hyper focus. You know, it's been a while since. Oh, Tanisha, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for this comment. Thank you. But moving too fast in relationships, we gotta take our time. I know some people who met within 2 weeks and were married and have right. And I don't have there's no medical explanation for this. Sometimes it just works out like that. I don't think there's sometimes it just works. And that's super cool. It's super cool when it happens. Oh, and look, don't ever feel bad for messaging. Like that's what the comment section is for, people to message. So nah, don't feel bad for messaging. And you're saying things. You're not spamming. So don't feel bad. Adult, right? And look, Lindsay, that's why a big emphasis of these live streams is talking about some of the things that neurodivergent people do and mistakes that they may make. Because if you check off all the boxes, I might need to go give me an assessment. I might need to go get checked out. Because yes, it is hard to pay your bill and sometimes function as an adult. I have to go buy a brand new Oura Ring, and I have to go buy a brand new laptop because I lost both of those. That's like $1,200, maybe $1,500. And after being pissed about it for a little bit, I said, "All right, Kojo, relax. Let's just go get it. It's fine. Rebudget, do your thing, and go get it. Don't. The worst part is judging yourself and trying to beat yourself up. I'm human, and I lost my stuff, and I will do better. That's all I can do. I can just do better. Yes, groupthink. I poured so much money and time and effort into groupthink. I haven't given up on it. So thank you for this. I'm bipolar type 1 and ADHD, and the struggle is real on the spectrum. It's not easy to navigate. Melissa, it's tough. It's difficult, Melissa. Kimberly says, my grandparents knew each other for a week. He was getting ready to ship out for the military. So he sent my Native American grandmother he just met, sent her home to rural Illinois to live with his family. Wow. So, but look, Kimberly, back in, the day, dating was different. There was no Instagram, there was no Bumble, there was no Hinge. I certainly think that you could get to know somebody quite rapidly. A week, I don't know, but it seems like it worked out because you're here, right? So it seemed like it worked out. Yeah, you don't want to beat yourself up. It does nothing for you. Try your best not to beat yourself up. And on TikTok, Christine is saying that hyperfocus can be helpful too. Oh no, hyperfocus can be helpful. It can be very helpful. Sometimes manic energy can be helpful, provided that you can be safe. So these aren't bad things. You have to know how to make it, spin it and make it work for you. Finally, Bree says, I feel like time doesn't matter. I've been with someone for 8 years and it didn't work out. Yeah, I think time does matter to some extent. But who really knows? Who really knows? Sometimes you just never know. Sometimes it's not just moving too fast, but moving on too fast. Ooh, Kate, love the show right here. Sometimes you do move on too fast, thinking you like someone, and all of a sudden there's a point where they reciprocate, and then there's both ways. You move on fast, you move in fast. It's that impulsivity. So like Chris is saying, finding out your attachment type can be very helpful for you. I agree with that. It's fly. I was looking for that fly. I'm gonna catch that fly. If y'all see that fly, let me know. There's one fly I've been trying to catch all day here. Attachment styles are important. Your attachment type, it will kind of give you insight into who you are, what you that's your type. That's your type. So I'm more so avoidant. So I know it's anxious. That's kind of my type. Let me see. Why do gay neurodivergent? I don't know if this is a gay or LGBT thing. And sort of the gay girlies are hyperspeed. I don't know too much about. I don't know too much about this, so I can't speak on it. And then like gay women like moving fast. That's very specific. I mean, maybe you have some personal experience with that, but that's very specific. I don't know too much about that. I'm anxiously attached, but okay. So I know a lot about the anxious attachment style. Yeah, and as you become secure, you're better able to put boundaries in place. ADHD, Kimberly, being kind to yourself goes a long way. Being kind to yourself can help you take things one at a time, slow your mind. Being kind to yourself is a superpower. Can MD give Lindsay for what? For what? Yeah, MDs are the primary people who actually give these diagnoses. You know, it's primarily psychiatrists, but also PCPs. But MDs are the primary people who give these diagnoses. I wish I could just be asexual. I feel so bad at relationships and feel like I get used a lot. Yeah, so when you're neurodivergent, you do have to, I think, after every relationship, take a beat and just kind of figure out what kind of things happened, what transpired that you didn't like, what did you like, and try and just catch your breath real quick, because sometimes we tend to make the same mistakes with people who look different, but we're kind of dating the same type of person, So we have to be aware of that, because sometimes you can feel like you're being used, and that's not a good feeling at all. That's one of the worst feelings, when you feel like you're being used. Brittany's saying, I think sometimes impulsivity is what causes separation in a relationship. I'm blessed. I've been with my husband for 10 years, but we also make a conscious choice to choose love, even when feelings are up or down. So Brittany on TikTok, I completely agree with you. Like, love is an active thing. Like, you have to choose it over and over and over. And in a relationship, I would not recommend. I wouldn't recommend going based off of like feelings, because sometimes you hate your person. You love them, but you hate your person, and sometimes you're infatuated with them. Sometimes just the way you slept, you wake up and you look at your partner and you're like, oh, I don't like you. So you don't want to let feelings determine like how you feel about your person. So this is part of that emotional regulation that we tend to struggle with. And let me see. Cheshire is saying, OMG, yes, Lindsay, I didn't realize I was autistic until I was working as an adult, and it's very hard for me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Small talk. I hate small talk. Small talk, this sucks. And Brittany's saying, I wake up like I could smother you or make you pancakes, and I choose pancakes. Let's go with the pancakes. Let's go with the pancakes. Do you ever feel like you're fishing for comments and need attention? I don't feel like I'm fishing for comments, but I do like attention for sure. Won't deny that. But fishing for comments, I don't feel that way. Do you feel that way? I don't feel it. Could be. That's possible. I ended up being my husband, and we're dating and engaged within a couple of months. Have been married for 11 years. But I was upfront and said, hey, this is great, and I think we can make it, but I'm not messing around. And if you're not in it for the long run, then I'm not for you. He committed, and we just keep choosing each other, even though a lot of moves. My ADHD diagnosis is PTSD, and my dad's passing from cancer. Once I'm in, I'm in. So Kate, love the show right here. Congratulations. And this is what relationships are about. It's about leaning on somebody when times get rough. It's about choosing that person over and over, even when you have every reason to leave them. So congratulations. Congrats. I'm 28 and I'm finally starting to put the pieces together for myself. It's hard to be kind to yourself when your close ones around you aren't so kind, but I'm learning little by little every day. Lindsay, that's all we can do. That's all we can do. Any suggestion to manage college, a C job, and roster, and C job and roster dating lose. So goddess frequency. I'm not sure if I'm answering your question correctly, but you want to manage college, a job, roster, dating, and losing weight. Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. So, all right, thank you. You sign up for the night? Oh, you sleep early.
I'm gonna try.
All right.
I'm gonna meditate first.
Meditate.
Yeah, Zen.
You're Zen. College A. Okay, all right. So you have to figure out what your priority is here. College is probably your priority. So college, and then job. I would worry about those two things first, and then also with the losing weight, I would just become a person who adopts that lifestyle. Like you're eating certain things, you're going to the gym, and then with the roster dating, thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate you. With the roster dating, that can be very time consuming. It's a lot to date multiple people at one time. I would say make sure that you have the energy to date around, and whatever you do, don't make it a priority. Unless you find like a person or a group of people you like. If maybe it's a polyamorous situation, so on and so forth. But let the main thing be the main thing: college, job, your personal health goals. And then as you do that, it makes the dating easier because you kind of find your people a little bit better. Train wreck until 40. That's what's up. We gotta be proud. All right, okay. Cheers. Time for another water break. Water break, y'all. Taylor on TikTok. What's up? What's up? Water break. Water break. There's a big meme online that gay girls moving after the first date and adopt a cat. I'll get to that in a second. But water break, y'all. Big cheers. Hannah on TikTok, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I don't know about this meme. I guess I'm not too well versed with LGBT like meme culture. You can teach me though. I'll learn. But I had no idea. Tips for organization with ADHD going to college. Figure out what's priority. Have a to-do list, yes, but have a priority list. That's so key. Priority list. You can't do everything, but you can do anything. You can't do everything, but you can do anything. The fourth common mistake that neurodivergent people tend to make is being too hard on themselves. We've already spoken about this within the live stream, but this is key. You can't be too hard on yourself. So if you mess up and if you have a day from hell, you gotta have a quick memory. Be like, all right, cool. It is what it is. We're moving on. On to Cincinnati. We're moving on. On to Cincinnati. Having a short memory on purpose can be a superpower. On to Cincinnati. Hannah on TikTok. I appreciate that. I hope that the videos, give people new perspectives on, things that we've, been knowing about, but maybe we didn't see things from that angle. I use my phone's calendar for due dates. I was taught to be harsh on myself. Right. So, like, we're trained to kind of be hard on ourselves. We don't need to be that hard on ourselves. We need to be our best friends. Talk to yourself the same way you talk to a friend. Brittany says, during nursing school, if I didn't get 100, I would be like, why are you even here? Brittany, nursing school is pretty damn hard. To be aiming for 100 in every test during nursing school, that's almost like a recipe for disaster. Nursing school ain't easy now. Oh, you said the medicine helped a lot. Okay, that's good. I hope you're not putting all that pressure on yourself. 3, what was 3? Number 3 was did I skip 3? Y'all, I skipped 3. Okay, I skipped 3. All right, so after 4, we'll go with 3. Thank you so much, Flower Child. So somebody's paying attention in here. So yeah, after 4, we'll go with 3. I think it's in the third one, but I put the fourth one up. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. I struggle with unmasking in front of a new friend and then worrying they won't like the real me. Lexi, like I said with number 4, don't be too hard on yourself. If you catch yourself masking, all right, cool. Just understand that this is something that you've done because you want to adapt in today's world and you want to make friends. And when we unmask, people are like, oh, so don't judge yourself. And over time, a lot of times we have to kind of mask, and then early on in that process of making friends, we kind of let the mask go away, and then that's when you really build an attachment. That you're like, oh, okay, like this is who I really am. This is who you are. All right, that's pretty cool. So you can't be too hard on yourself. Can't be too hard on yourself. Yeah, got me sidetracked. All right, Lonnie, thank you so much. Yeah, I understand. We did start this live stream like almost 2 hours late, so I got to work on that. And of course, the live stream, is available for playback. So thank you so much for coming through. Yeah. I missed 3. That's funny. I missed 3. But being too hard on yourself. We spoke about that. Being too hard on yourself. Number 3. Ooh, number 3. Ooh. Let me put number 3 here because number 3, I felt this one personally. Expecting themselves and other people. Let me see the overshare. Krista, we like the weird. Just letting you know, we like the weird. Expecting themselves and other people. That was number 3. And this is because a lot of neurodivergent people tend to be incredibly gifted and talented and very passionate about things. Whether you're very passionate about a cause or you're passionate about a sport, the passion is palpable when people meet us. So sometimes we expect ourselves in other people. And what does that do? That leads to pain, it leads to frustration. And anytime you expect a certain outcome and you can't control the thing, and even when you can control the thing, we can never really control outcomes. Wanting to control outcomes and wanting to control the narrative in that way is normally a recipe for disaster and sadness. So you got to keep that in mind. Expecting yourself and other people. It's tough. Yeah. It's true. It's very true. My son does this and his anxiety flares by trying to hey, people have to come to the content when they're ready to come to the content. They gotta come to the content when they're ready to come to the content. It can right. So we tend to be really direct, Krista, when we're neurodivergent. Like if we don't like somebody, sometimes we're a little bit too blunt. Like, nah, I don't want to be around you. And then of course when we like people, we're like, okay. I love our content. Love the fact you're a comedian and have ADHD. I just self-diagnosed myself with ADHD under the umbrella of complex PTSD, and I want to pursue being a comedian. Wendy Red, find an open mic in your hometown, and you if you have a desire, you have to do it. That could be your passion. Especially when you're a perfectionist and hold people to impossible standards. Right. And that's another recipe for disaster because people are people and people make mistakes. My son's 7, autistic. He's learning that he is different in some ways. His peers are noticing as well, and kids can be mean. Kids can be very mean. My little guy is very kind-hearted and emotional. People pleaser, I could say. How can I help him be more comfortable with himself and accept others' options more graciously without getting upset? Well, there's no early age to start learning this, but the best way to do it is really by leading by example. And whether you're 7 or whether you're 37, this is hard. And also talking to your son about your struggles. Let me see. Got a notification that my live visibility has been restricted on TikTok. Interesting. I don't know why. The show must go on. I'll be on TikTok afterwards for the after party. But Lindsay, I do want to say that like letting your son know, okay, yeah, I sometimes struggle. Sometimes I take things personally, and using yourself can be a powerful way to show that, hey, we all struggle with this. Secure people are very rare. I don't know about very rare, but probably in the minority. Probably in the minority. I have a 5-year-old on the spectrum and just started school in May in the regular education. Kids are very mean. She was persevering on words. I heard them talking about her around her. So kids, that's one thing about kids. I don't know if you have any kids or if you know kids, but kids can be very mean. Kids can be very mean. And sometimes these kids turn into adults who keep being mean. But kids can be very mean. So I think teaching kids at a young and during those formative years, teaching them to respect other kids is key. And a lot of that starts at home too with the parents. Wendy, do it. I want to see your comedy. You got to do it. You got to do it. The same way you explain it to their typical kids. If someone's mean to you, there's an issue within them, not you. Yeah. And not everybody's a friend. It takes years to sometimes learn that. Not everybody's a friend. Hannah, what was Hannah's question? Hannah, on TikTok, you can help yourself out by validating the condition. If you can validate the diagnosis with a provider, and then they can give you the subsequent treatment, or you can identify with something and start to take some of the measures to improve your life on your own. My son was diagnosed with ADHD and autism at the age of 10. He's 16 now, and while he still chooses to be alone most times, he's very secure in the fact that he's awesome, and if someone can't see it, it's none of his business. If he can feel this way, he's ahead of most adults. The majority of adults can't do this. Majority of adults cannot do this. I love how some friends who had kids not even on the spectrum want to educate me on my child and what I need to do with my child. Yes, so Marie, you'll see this a lot with other parents having an opinion, and they just don't know. So they think that their input is appreciated when you probably could care less for it. All right. So TikTok says, as long as you like right. As long as you like yourself. That's the main thing. Chris is saying, does your child have IEP? Let me see. The fifth common mistake that neurodivergent individuals tend to make: impulsive decision making. I see this more on the ADHD side of things, the impulsivity. I see more with ADHD, but it can be autism as well. It can be dyslexia as well. But this is more so an ADHD thing, and impulsive decision making is not always a bad. It's not always a bad thing. I want to say that. Sometimes the impulsivity helps to reduce analysis paralysis and the anxiety of, do I go here, because impulsivity is direct and it's deliberate. It's just not well thought out, right? So you may have to pay the consequences of, I didn't really think this through. Oh, dang, I put too much on my plate. I do that all the time. I'm like, I'm gonna do this project and that project and here, and I'm like, dang, I put a lot on my plate. I'm kind of overwhelmed. I'm burnt out. So being impulsive, as long as you can just figure out how to, minimize the negative consequences, it's not a bad thing. But you just have to, keep that in mind. So you try as the IEP, finding, okay. Yeah, when you're a parent of a child on the spectrum, sometimes you have to go to bat. You got to step in the batter's box like Chipper Jones and go to bat for your child. Sometimes school systems and districts do make it difficult. My Amazon purchase list speaks volume to this. Right, and there's different ways to manage impulsivity. When it comes to money, it can be helpful to just carry cash around and say, okay, all right, I had a budget. I was going to spend $150 on, this week on this, and now with inflation, that might, it goes fast. But keeping cash on hand and saying, okay, I'm going to do this and do this and do that, and trying to limit yourself can be very helpful. Or give yourself a day to go be impulsive and buy things from Dollar General. Say, I'm going to spend $30 at Dollar General and buy whatever I want. And now you can get the dopamine hit of that new thing, but it costs you $30 versus going to Target and spending $400 and you're like, now I'm behind on everything because I spent $400 at Target. You know, I thought I was the only one. No, a lot of us do this. A lot of us do this. So we have to be mindful of the fact that impulsive decisions are not always bad, but it can tend to have a painful consequence. And Taylor's saying Dollar Tree shopping spree. Yeah, like that's a great idea. Let's go Dollar Tree. Like imagine $50 at Dollar Tree or Dollar General. I forget which one is more expensive. One of them actually you can get things for $1. I'm not sure if you can still get it for $1, but I think it's Dollar Tree. Dollar General started increasing the prices. Like things started being like $5 in there. Like I don't know what happened, but I'm like, this ain't no dollar anymore. This is $5. It's kind of like the Subway $5 foot long. I'm like, this is a scam. What's going on? You know, but Dollar Tree, Dollar General, $50. $50 at Target is like a half of a pillow. You know, it doesn't go too far. You know, I have a separate online bank account with no card that I put all my money in so I can't use the money. Ah, okay. Not a bad idea, Lexi. Not a bad idea. Feel free to set a boundary, let them know you're not willing to accept. Yeah, I agree in terms of the parenting. Oh, 2 people in San Diego. Y'all should be friends. And I've never been to San Diego, but I gotta go sometime. It's not too far from LA. I flip back and forth. Sometimes I'll just buy something or whatever, and other times I'll research something for a month before buying. Went to Home Depot multiple times for about a month. Just ice cream. Yeah, look, a lot of times, especially for those of us with ADHD, when we're bored, we need something to stimulate our minds, right? So if you know, okay, I'm bored and okay, now I need to go buy something. Now I'm going to use the $50 Dollar Tree advice. $50 Dollar Tree, and go buy all this stuff, you know. And all I'm taking is my $50. I'm not taking no car with me. I'm just taking my $50. This is exactly what I struggle with every day. I get so overwhelmed. I shop too much, lose track of the amount I spend in one day. Right. And also, it's important to like analyze your mood, because a lot of times when we spend emotionally, it's tied to some type of mood that we don't like within us, some type of feeling that we just can't sit with at that time for whatever reason. Cash. Right. Exactly. If you have leftover cash, it's overtime, bonus, free money. I brush my teeth, floss, and use mouthwash. I haven't done all 3 in weeks. I'm on a roll. Congrats. Chula Vista. Okay, I've heard of that. Escondido. I've heard of those places. Never been there. So far, I'm all 5. Impulses led me to move twice out of state, all within a week of the idea popping in my head. I don't regret either. Tons of lessons I have to learn, new experiences, new people. Yeah, we can make the most out of impulsive decisions. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. Keep that in mind. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. Oh, the Amazon refund. Yeah, but sometimes to send something back is just too much work. You know, I think I was the one. I also was one budgeting for a couple of years, right now every purchase. But lately, I think since my dad's died, it's been me who's overspending. And Kate, at least you're able to attribute the overspending to a certain thing. So now what you do is like you don't judge yourself for the ways that you've chosen to grieve, and then you figure out new ways to make things a little bit better. You know, as you learn more, you know, practical and healthier ways to cope, you'll find that you're saving money, and now your mood's like just coming up together all the way. You know, it's a win-win. But yeah, don't judge yourself for the ways in which you've chosen to grieve. I'm going to eat my feelings. Yeah. It's really tough. But one day that you decide to not eat your feelings is one day that you're closer to your eventual goal. Put one foot in front of the other. We make progress along the way. My feelings feel like a new outfit. Ooh. And sometimes you buy the outfit, you don't even wear it that often. Now you spend $69.99 at Ross or a dress, or like an outfit that you're not gonna wear. Well, to remember, so there's a big correlation between your mood and the things that you do and the money that you spend. And when you can figure that out, it's like, it's a light bulb. You're like, oh, it's not a money problem. It's a emotional dysregulation problem. Then the light bulb goes off. 2 papers done, one PowerPoint halfway done, and 1 project left. Okay. You're getting closer. You're getting close. You're getting closer. You're almost there. You're almost there. Shesherly. I hope I said it correctly. I wanted to say C smiles, but Shesherly, let me say it correctly. I slipped, added 5 things to my cart, and put in my credit and pressed send. Not my fault. Oh, Crystal. I don't know who did it, but somebody did it. Somebody did it. New yarn. My feelings often feel like front row tickets to go see the LA Rams or the Chargers, take on the Buffalo Bills. Impulsively spending $50 at Goodwill. Well, we made the changes one thing at a time. Keep buying clothes, can't stop. Yeah, these aren't money problems. This is some sort of dysregulation within you. And when you make some progress there, like, oh my gosh, I have so much more money now. You just learn how to control your mood better. Goodwill can be addicting too. It really can be addicting. You go in there and there's all these little gems you find, kind of like Ross. So I like Ross too. And that place is hard for appearing the autism spectrum. Yeah, a lot of people don't. Yeah, I did not know until I went to Dallas for 5 months and I worked at a kid center for autistic kids. I didn't realize how many people didn't understand autism. It's its own language, and that's why being in a group with other parents who have kids in the spectrum, it's so validating for you because you have certain unique struggles or concerns and fears that only they can understand. I did not understand until I had a chance to work with those kids. I'm like, oh wow, it's a whole different world. And these aren't good kids. These are brilliant kids. These are talented kids. They just have to have a system that works for them. We can't say no. We say later. There's all these different tips and tricks. Treasure hunting. Let me see. 2 abandoned after the blanket turned discard. And see, that's the thing. When we buy things and then we swear we're going to use it and then we don't use it, it's so frustrating. It's like, I thought I was going to do this. I never use it. I like eating my cake. I'm weak. She can answer simple questions. Oh, yeah. No. A lot of people are not trained in divergency or neurodivergency. You'd be shocked how many people don't understand. Yeah. I learned that this year. High jumping. When I was up on meds for sleep study, I ate so many snacks because I was so bored. A lot of these things, a lot of impulsive behaviors are tied to a mood. And sitting with that mood and learning how to regulate that mood could be a true game changer for all of us. A true game changer. Everything you were saying is like looking in the mirror. Well, Mika, hopefully it's been validating to a point where you're like, okay, all right, I am not alone. Number 1, I'm not weird. Number 2, and number 3, there are people out there who are just like me, might not look like me, may not, have the same beliefs as me, may not, have the same values as me, but we go through similar things. And because of that, we are a community. And it helps to bring some, not normalcy, but just some dignity and respect to your name. Because if you've gone your whole life feeling like you're an outsider, or you're like, something is going on, but I can't put a finger on it, then it does a number to your self-esteem. So it's important to know that, okay, you're not a bad person. You're just going through, life undiagnosed with some type of neurodivergence. And it's never too late for answers. I do agree with that. It's never too late. It's like that song. It's not too late. It's never too late. And that's 3 Days of Grace. I didn't realize how I wasn't too outside of my son. How will I master for so long? Yeah. This is one of the new ways for people to realize. It's funny how that works. Mika, is it Mika or Micah? Because the child ends up helping you. Yeah, right. And when you can't communicate, a lot of times you might resort to, like using your hands, agitation is the highest form of anxiety. So not being able to communicate makes you anxious, and that's why you see some behaviors. Wow, 64 years young. Stress is a trigger. Well, Alexi, knowing this is important. Now okay, next time I get involved with somebody, let me take my time because I know how I get when I'm in relationships. Slim Shady Rap. Nothing has 3 Days of Grace. A little bit different. Mika, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Your son helped you out. That's a beautiful thing. The kids come back to help. Mika. All right, gotcha. Mika. TikTok saved me. Honestly, I was undiagnosed until 26. Me too. 26 is when I got diagnosed. And now that I know what's going on, I feel way less like an outsider. And Lexi, I feel that same way too. And that's why I say it all the time on my live streams, whether it's here or on TikTok or whether I'm just talking to the people on Instagram. I say thank you so much for this community because it allows you to begin the process of learning yourself. It allows you to figure out new ways to appreciate yourself. It helps you pick up your self-esteem. You realize that there was nothing ever wrong with you. And it's so validating. So, to be able to do that for people online or just be a part of this community, it means a lot because, to go the majority of your life feeling like you're outsider or just knowing that something is different, but you can't quite put a finger on it. It's frustrating. And then you feel like other people know that something's going on and you're like, but I don't know what's going on, but they know something, but I'm not sure what they know. But, you get into your head and it can be very difficult to even like yourself sometimes, Chesh or smiles, gotcha. Kate, I'm about to answer your question in a second. Before TikTok, I thought autism only show up like Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory because it's so underrepresented. Yeah. I think a lot of people share the same thought. Yeah. And Marie, do your best to reduce your need for understanding from other people. This is very difficult, but with any type of neurodivergence, allowing yourself to not need understanding from other, and it's tough because with family you want them to understand it, but like sometimes they just don't get it, and sometimes family they're doing the same thing that either you or your child is doing, and they're undiagnosed, and you're like, yo, you should also go see Dr. Kojo. And they're like, that stuff is not real. You're like, like you want to pull your hair out. I want to pull out the little hair I have. I want to pull my hair out. I want to pull the hair out. Can there be a point with ADHD where when you had been dealing with depression, PPD for me, but also depression during my life before diagnosis, okay, whether depression meds kind of stop being needed, but ADHD meds would be better to actually help the cause of anxiety? Yes, I think. I work with my doctor, but wondering if it's all common. I feel like I'm not in the same level as pregnancy. So, Kate, yes, let me ask you this question. So, I think a lot of folks don't realize that for treatment-resistant depression, and that means that you have depression and you tried 2 trials of medications. So, let's say you tried Prozac, it didn't work, and you tried, Lexapro, and it didn't work. You took each one for at least 6 weeks, and you didn't feel better, right? So now we call your depression treatment-resistant depression. So for treatment-resistant depression, there's different things that you can do. ECT, which is a therapeutic seizure, which is very helpful. Ketamine, not FDA approved, but helpful. And ADHD meds, stimulants. You can actually use stimulants for treatment-resistant depression. And they don't work like antidepressants, but in addition to helping you, regulate your mood and your attention, these medications also help to lift your mood. So they have a positive effect on depression. And I would not be surprised to see that you can get to a position where you don't need your depression meds as much because of the ADHD meds. So that does not sound like, foreign to me. Like, that actually makes sense. It makes sense. It can't wait. Amanda, did you email me? Please let me know if you emailed me, or like email me info@kojosarfo.com. If you're one of the people that I promised a book, I want to get those books out. That's crazy. I started researching it to get educated on my separate condition and ended up self-diagnosing. Like, why is this so painfully relatable? Felissa, and we've been talking about that all day. I mean, not all day, but like the past hour. So sometimes the kids, that's the portal to, your own self-discovery. So, it's just another way of your kids bringing value to your life. Because sometimes without the kids, you just be living your life like, okay. But now because the kids, you're like, hold up. Like one thing makes you be like, and then the next time you're like, oh, okay, hold up. But I've been doing it since I was a kid. And then you get deep into like Reddit threads and TikTok videos, and then you're like, I just can't shake that feeling of feeling like I think I'm some type of neurodivergent. Oh, the book's already coming to you? Okay, all right, cool, awesome. I don't know if I said it or not. My assistant, she takes care of that. Once I started researching things more, of course, my phone started to show. Lindsay, thank you so much. This means a lot to me. It really means a lot to me. And this community, like, you all don't know how much this means to me. Like I said, I don't just post this content to be like, oh, I'm some TikTok doctor who does. No, like I've struggled my whole life with this, and constantly feeling like you're on the outside looking in, and then being able to find something I can do with consistency and repeat it. I got really good at the content creation thing. So you all support has meant a lot to me. I appreciate that. Hard when there's not a lot of moms with children. Yeah, no, Marie, that's what I'm saying. Like finding like online groups, or like, because if you're the only mom with like a child on the spectrum, that's a lonely feeling. It's if you're the only mom in Topeka, Kansas, and you look around, you're like, so nobody else here is autistic. So nobody. Nope. Kind of like Mrs. Doubtfire. The whole time. You're like, really? So it makes you feel like it's just super lonely. Like, no, Mika, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Diagnosed at 28. Okay. When I'm extremely overwhelmed, I can't explain my emotion. I just I feel bad. Well, you feel bad, so you know that you need some space, and there's nothing wrong with asking for that space. Okay. Thank you for sharing, Amanda. And then when we get to meltdowns, yeah, look, Marie, I'm telling you, after work with autistic kids, like I learned so much. The meltdowns, and sometimes the meltdowns are triggered by like sensory things. It looks like a big mood swing, but the lights are too bright, or the too many demands, or you were told no, and the kids broke a TV, flipped a chair. It can be very difficult. Okay, all right. So, all right. Okay, all right. So TikTok. For some reason, they won't let me stream on TikTok. All right, so I will move the stream to TikTok just so that I can let me talk about PTSD, and then I'll move the stream to TikTok. And then we'll keep streaming on TikTok, and then we'll play music, make it fun. But let me talk about PTSD real quick. So PTSD, all of us go through traumatic things, and what happens is when we experience trauma, normally the body resolves it on its own. Like, small, mini traumatic things happen to us throughout our life, and the brain and the body will resolve it. But sometimes the trauma is unshakable. It's hard to shake, and then when you can't shake it, and it stays for many months, in terms of years, and that's when you're looking at PTSD. You can change the chemistry, and it can they can make you a different person. Like, you become hypervigilant. Sleep can be difficult. You can become somewhat paranoid, and you are a different person after PTSD. And also with CPTSD, once you've been exposed to repeated trauma, you are a different person. So you have to be kind to yourself, and instead of trying to return back to the version of you before the trauma, spend your time working on that next version of you that you were going to evolve into another version of you anyways. You see what I'm saying? So that version of you before the trauma was never going to remain there. You're going to evolve at some point. So now is the present. You've been through what you've been through. It's not, your fault for what you've been through. It's not your fault. Not your fault. But it is our responsibility to create a life for ourselves moving forward, a life that we're proud of. A lot of that is, forgiving ourselves, making it okay for ourselves to experience joy, advocating for ourselves to the best of our abilities. Can't be too hard on yourself. And also understand that the present is a beautiful moment. Even with PTSD or ADHD or whatever, understand that this present moment is a beautiful moment, and try not to rob yourself of that beauty. EMDR can be very helpful. EMDR. Let me see. So currently, no, we're not accepting new clients, but my practice manager, if she can work out something with telehealth, sure. I know, but I don't know too much about that. Like, I do work part-time, but in terms of like a telehealth thing, I gotta ask Carol to set it up, and and it also so complicated because I got different states like New York, South Carolina, Georgia, Texas. So maybe we can come up with a system, to where we can help out with ADHD. Because if there was a good system, I would do it. I would, because I'm good at it. So it increases my self-esteem, and I feel like I'm helping. So if there's a system in place, maybe we can get some providers together and do something. We could do something. Amanda, I appreciate you. Yep. All right, so we will switch over to TikTok, and let me see, 9:18. Okay, not too bad. I'll be on TikTok for a little bit, and then call it a night, and then I'll try and go live tomorrow morning, but we'll see. Oh, you're in LA? Okay. Sure. You can contact by email. We're not set up for I have all my California stuff, but the practice is not, the outpatient or telehealth practice is not set up. But I will talk to Carol, and if she can come with a master plan, cool. If not, cool. So all right, the rest of y'all asking questions. I will be on TikTok here in like 2 minutes. And Austin, that book, we will get that book out to you. So once again, everybody, thank you so much for your attention. I sincerely love y'all, and I appreciate y'all.